Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Mindset Matters podcast. I know, I have been kind of on a hiatus for the last month. If you have been following my journey, I was in India for the last almost a month, actually, exactly a month. And I was traveling through some of the most beautiful cities. I had the great opportunity to attend two of my really, really dearest friends' weddings. Such a beautiful thing to witness, especially when you have seen your girlfriends kind of go through things and grow through the last few years. It was such a beautiful moment. I'm so thankful and grateful that I had the opportunity to attend their weddings. And while I was attending their weddings, if you know me, I am someone that loves to travel. I am somebody that will jump at every opportunity of travel when it presents itself to me because for the longest time, that was not my life. For the longest time, I was really manifesting a life where I could just be free and travel the world. So now when those opportunities are presented to me, I just grab them because I know what it's like when I wanted to travel and I couldn't, and I just can't give up on travel opportunities. Anyway, having said all of that, that's why I was kind of off the podcast for a little bit. I did tell myself that I wanted to be more consistent with my podcast, but to be very honest, I just let myself get lost in how much fun I was having in India that I was okay. I was okay with taking a little bit break from the podcast and from all these other things. I couldn't write as much either when I was on the road. I kind of took a break from my writing and journalistic work as well. And it was just nice to just get lost in all of it. And a lot of the things that I've learned on this trip is actually kind of what I want to talk about on this episode. And I'm not really sure how long this episode is going to be. I'm going to just kind of speak from my heart. And I don't have any notes, to be honest, on what I'm going to be talking about in this episode because I just want it to be a reflection of what I'm feeling in the moment in my heart. Over the last, I want to say 5 years or so, as you guys know, I have been trying to just understand myself better. I've been trying to just make sense of all of this. In one of my previous episodes where I speak about spirituality, this last 5 years has really been a journey of going inwards and, finding myself and understanding what I want out of life and understanding what it is that I'm trying to achieve in this life. And according to the younger me, at 30 years old, I wanted to be somebody who had a great corporate job and made a lot of money. I wanted to be somebody who was married to the love of my life and at least had one kid. Okay, these were the things that my early 20-year-old self would have looked at me today when I'm 30. And currently, I don't have a corporate job. Yes, I'm working on my passion projects, but I'm making nowhere as much money as I did while I was in my corporate job. And I'm obviously not married and I don't have children. So the younger me would have looked at my present situation right now and felt like a failure. You know what I mean? Like the younger me, the 20 something year old me, would never have thought that this was how our life would be at 30. But checking in with myself, weirdly, this is the happiest I have been in my whole life, which just blows my mind because it really has opened up a lot of questions about where it is that we stand and what we want in creating the life. So for example, people always say like all of your dreams will come true. All of your dreams, you just keep going and your dreams will come true. And the reality, and I'm not a channel where I just give out toxic positivity, right? Where I want my channel to be something of true reflection and of reality and groundedness. And a lot of that involves harsh truths. And I'm here to tell you that no, all of your dreams are not going to come true. And neither do you actually want all those dreams to come true. But I will tell you that you will go through life in pursuit of certain dreams, but the real magic of life happens when you just allow life to do what it's meant to do for you. Okay? So, according to the younger me, I would have just been a younger me, 20 something year old me, will look at my present 30-year-old situation and would have absolutely freaked the F out. Not to curse, but she would have just been like, oh my God, like that is not the life that I want for you. According to her, our dreams did not come true in that sense, right? But me being the 30-year-old me, present me, is so, so, so grateful for the experience that I've been through my 20s to get here and just be happy, but be happy in different ways. Of course, I still want a relationship. Of course, I still want, to get married and have kids and, make a lot of money. Of course, I want all of that. But somewhere along the way, you have to come to terms with what is exactly in front of you. And how I'm tying this back to my initial conversation about my India trip is that my trip really opened up my eyes to having just a little bit more gratitude, man. Like, just practice a little bit more gratitude, like, have more perspective to your life. Before went away on the India trip, I was just so focused on, okay, I'm going to do the podcast. I'm going to have to get the numbers up. I'm going to have to do this and I'm going to have to do that. And I have to have more outreach and I have to, like make sure this group trip is happening and I have to do this, right? And somewhere on the trip, and I want to say it was somewhere in Rishikesh where I stayed back for another 10 days after my friend's wedding just to kind of experience it. And in those 10 days, I just realized how fleeting moments are, how fast time passes you by, and how many people were at these holy places of worship praying and praying and praying away of a better future, for a better future, you know? Or even when it comes to manifestations, a lot of the times, manifestation is again that pursuit or that want for a better future. My point being, we're always just kind of looking for that future in prayer, in manifestation, right? We're again maybe missing the point of being more anchored in the present moment. And I've had my own struggles with trying to be more present and I journal and I read and I do all these things that yes, they pull me to the present moment, but I realize that it doesn't keep me there. When I'm journaling, yes, I feel like I'm in the present moment. When I'm meditating, yes, I feel like I'm in the present moment. But the moment I wasn't doing those things, I was just like back in the air again. Like I was not able to ground myself until I realized that I just had to practice a little bit more gratitude. Like I had to practice gratitude. Yeah, I had to be happy about the things that I already had for me 5 years ago. All I wanted to do was travel the world and make content. Like this is the life that I wanted. 5 years ago, I wanted to be living on my own. This is the life that I wanted, and I have this life in front of me right now. And yet, how small of me to keep wanting more, And I'm saying this being fully honest and vulnerable with you right now, where I think I'm done. I'm done just going after the next thing because I realized that there will always be the next thing that I want. And in that pursuit of that next thing, I am not going to be wishing away my present moment. And what is that thing that's going to keep you grounded in the present moment? For me, I realized it's just gratitude. Being just so, so, so thankful for where I am right now, which I was really not practicing as much, to be very honest with you. Yes, there were times where I would just look back at my life and say, wow, like I've come such a long way. I've done this, I've done that. But I always just kept going back to the fact that, wait, but I'm not married yet. I don't have children. I don't have that kind of business or income stream that I really want. But in no ways am I saying you're not allowed to dream. In no way am I saying you're not allowed to want more for yourself. In no way am I saying you should just give up on everything and just become a saint. That's not everybody's path. Of course, it's not, I don't think it's my path. But just practicing more gratitude will really take you a really long way. This really changed for me when visited Chennai. And in Chennai, there were really these three profound moments that I had. And it just made me feel like, what the hell am I doing? We hired a driver for a day, and our driver worked 12 hours. Actually, I want to say more like it was 12. He actually worked for 14 hours, just driving us around to different places and different things that we had to do. And he earned 2,000 rupees in that 14 hours, which is about 23 dollars for the whole day. And our lunch receipt from going to a restaurant, just our lunch, was twice that. Okay. Just our lunch receipt that we sat there and we ate for maybe like an hour, hour and a half, we spent double what this man was making on a 14-hour shift. We have a nurse that basically stays at home 24/7 with my grandma and takes care of my grandma. And she's only 18 or 19 years old, and her job, her full-time job, which is not even a full-time job, it's not a 9 to 5, it's a 24/7 job where she has to take care of my grandma, make sure that my grandma is eating on time, taking her meds, is bathed, is showered, whatever she needs is taken care of. That's her job. That's her life. She can't just quit that and say, "Hey, I'm going to hang out with my friends today after work." That made me open my eyes to, wow, there's so many people complaining about their 9 to 5s, including myself, right? I absolutely am to blame for this. But this girl here, her job, it just doesn't end. Anytime my grandma wanted something, she had to be there and provide that. Her friends and family aren't even the same city. They're somewhere else in a different village. She would have to like save up money to go hang out with her friends and family back in her village. And one day on this trip, I wanted to take a bus, a local bus with, very local people from all different classes. Usually take the bus, and usually, it's more of the people on the lower income side that take this transportation. And I wanted to experience it. Okay. And I wanted to experience it because I've always wanted to experience it. Growing up, we fortunately always had either like a car or a bike. So we never really had to take the bus as much, and there was never a need for it. But on this trip, I really want to just go on this bus ride, and I just want to experience it for myself. And what I saw on that bus ride changed my mindset about work and what it means to work. On this bus, they were men, I want to say, well into like their 70s, like 75, 80 year old, 80 years old. And these men who barely could even walk straight, weren't wearing the best clothes, had like slippers that were worn out, were carrying these snacks and food on their shoulders and just selling it to people that were on the bus waiting for the bus to leave. And the bus and the snacks that they were selling were maybe about like anywhere from 15 rupees to like 20 rupees per like pack of whatever they were selling. And maybe on that bus, they maybe made a total of, I want to say like 100 rupees, which is about $1. And that's all they made. And they would continue. And there's this guy, he would like carry this bag of snacks and go from bus to bus to bus, like just selling snacks. And that showed me his commitment to doing a job and make an earnest living. And here we are, in the Western world complaining about our 9 to 5s. And, there are people like this that exist out there who really want to make an earnest living and who really want to want to provide for their families. And they're working these jobs, and, they're working hard for their families. And here we are in the West, just hating on our 9 to 5 lifestyles and just hating on things. And I'm not by any means saying that without realizing how privileged of a life it is that we are living. It's not to say that you shouldn't want more. It's not to say that you shouldn't go after your dreams. It's not to say any of that, but to just get some perspective. Just get some perspective of life that exists out there, and just get a perspective of of reality almost, in the world of social media and in the world of like TikTok and all this stuff. Like we are so tunnel visioned into thinking that our lives are not enough. These apps, social media is designed for creating FOMO. It is designed to make you feel bad about your life. So you stay on these apps and you stay being attached to that cycle of comparison and feeling crappy about yourself and, just being miserable. We're great at comparison, but maybe we're just comparing wrong. We're comparing. Of course, you can compare and to be better. Of course, there's always room to do better, but we have to remind ourselves to also look back sometimes. You also have to remind yourself of how privileged you are. You also have to ground yourself with gratitude. And the way that I see manifestations and the way that I see prayer now will be so different. Of course, I'm still going to want things in my life, but wanting something else is not going to be ever again at the expense of losing what I am right now and at the expense of not appreciating what is right in front of me. And I talk a lot about self acceptance in the past. Yes, self acceptance is great, but also accepting your reality for what it is, accepting what's right in front of you is huge in just living a more joyful life. And you know me, I'm going to bring travel into this as well, where I say if you have the opportunity to travel, you must travel, because a lot of these people will never get the opportunity to even leave their hometown. Their lives start and end in their small hometowns. And so, if you have the opportunity, the privilege, the money to travel, you absolutely must. And I will also say that you must travel with a little bit more of purpose. Yes, luxury is great. Yes, it's nice to just bathe in your luxury and privilege, but traveling with purpose and traveling to witness what life is like for a lot of people around the world, what life is like in the smallest of towns, in the smallest villages, will expand your mind not for a result or an outcome, but to expand your mind just to expand your consciousness and just to expand your point of view and how you see the world and how you show up in the world for your own life. And I know this episode was a little deep, and like I said, I had no notes on this. I was just kind of wanting to speak from my heart. And if there's anything that you've gotten out of this episode, it is for me to tell you to just have more gratitude. Just have more gratitude. Ground yourself in gratitude. Appreciate the things that you have. See the privilege that you already are living. See how beautiful life already is. It's easy, I know, me included, to look at the things that we don't have and want more. And there's nothing wrong, again, with wanting things in your life, but grounding yourself in gratitude for what you have without, trying to manifest away and pray away for a better future. Hold on to what's right in front of you. Feel it, witness it, go through it. Not to say there will not be any sad days. Yes, there are days when I'm crying in bed because, oh my God, why is this happening to me? But there's a weird kind of satisfaction even in that, where I realize that I am being in the present moment. Even in that moment, I'm like, yes, this is the reality of my life right now. I accept it fully. And then I move on and I do other things. And I'm like, okay, well, I have to do this podcast. Okay, I have to write so many articles this week. I have to do this research. I have to, apply to these types of jobs. And you move on with an appreciation for what you can do. At the end of the day, you can only control what's in front of you. You can only accept what's right in front of you. You can dream, but don't lose yourself in that dreaming. Don't lose yourself in that manifestation waiting period. Manifestation is a beautiful thing, but I honestly just feel like it's been tainted by a lot of things online. and which is sad. Honestly, it's really sad because everyone now all of a sudden is an expert of manifestation, and there's a lot of contradicting advice online, and honestly, just so much noise. Truth is, what works for some people may not work for others because at the end of the day, another thing that I believe in is karma. So as much as you want to manifest, as much as you want different things, what's yours will only come to you if it's meant to, and it will only come in your timing. So what we can actually focus our energies on is controlling what you can control right in front of you, and practicing gratitude, anchoring yourself in gratitude, and just being so thankful for the life that you have. Having said that, I miss India so much. I've learned so many lessons on my trip to India. There's so many things that I just allowed myself to get lost in. I had the best foods. I had the best like late night drives with my sister, and it was overall just such an amazing experience. And yeah, and I'm happy to be back, and I'm happy to continue these episodes. I'm gonna definitely try doing one a week, but I've also told myself that I'm not gonna make an episode that doesn't feel right. I'm not gonna force an episode because I do feel a sense of responsibility in what I put out there. I don't want to just come out here just for the sake of coming out here. I want to always be able to speak from my heart and only be able to make episodes that feel like I'm flowing. So, yeah. So, having said all of that, I hope you're able to get something out of this. So, yeah. Thank you guys, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe, like and comment on the video, and I'll see you guys later with another episode. Bye.